Imagine waking up one morning and hearing gunshots outside your window, not from an invading army, but from people who speak your own language. In Cameroon, this has become real. A country that was once meant to be united now lives in quiet fear and deep silence. This is the untold story of how a nation blessed with beauty and culture became divided by history. Cameroon is often called Africa in miniature. It's a place where mountains meet rainforests, and more than 250 ethnic groups live together. From the golden beaches of Kribi to the snowy peaks of Mount Cameroon, the country looks like paradise. But beneath the beauty, something fragile has always existed. A deep divide born long ago. To understand today's Cameroon, we must go back, not just to independence, but to the very beginning, when strangers first stepped onto its shores. Before Europe ever came, Cameroon was full of life and kingdoms. The Bamoun Kingdom in the west had its own writing, culture, and art. Along the coast, the Douala people traded with sailors from faraway lands. Communities had chiefs, councils, and traditions that guided them. There was order, not perfect, but theirs. Then came the explorers. At first, they traded ivory and palm oil, but soon trade turned into control. In 1884, German traders signed treaties with local chiefs, papers written in languages the chiefs didn't even understand. With that, Germany declared the land theirs, calling it Cameroon. The Germans began to build roads, bridges, and plantations. But for the people, it wasn't development, it was pain. Villages were forced to work long hours on cocoa and rubber farms. Families were separated. If you refused to work, you were punished. An old man once said, "They took our land, they took our sweat, and said it was progress." Yet the people endured. They held on to hope that one day the land would be theirs again. Then came World War I in 1914. Cameroon became a battlefield between the Germans, the French, and the British. Villages burned. Thousands of Africans were forced to fight in a war they didn't understand. By 1916, Germany lost control. The victors, France and Britain, divided Cameroon between themselves. That was the start of a split that still hurts today. The French took the larger part, French Cameroon. The British took two small parts, northern and southern British Cameroon, near Nigeria. Two rulers, two languages, two systems of government. The same people were suddenly treated as strangers. In French Cameroon, students learned bonjour and république. In British Cameroon, they learned good morning and commonwealth. The people began to drift apart. One country, two worlds. By the 1940s, a new fire began to burn, the dream of independence. In French Cameroon, a movement called the UPC, Union des Populations du Cameroun, was born. It was led by young men and women who wanted one Cameroon, free and united. But France saw them as rebels. The government banned the UPC. The leaders were hunted down. Their homes burned. One of them, Ruben Umniobe, was killed in the forest, and for years his name was forbidden to be spoken in public. Still, the dream didn't die. In 1960, French Cameroon finally became independent under Amadou Ahidjo. It was a victory, but only half of one. A year later, in 1961, the United Nations gave British Cameroon a choice: join Nigeria or unite with French Cameroon. Northern British Cameroon chose Nigeria. Southern British Cameroon chose to unite with French Cameroon. And so the Federal Republic of Cameroon was born. At first, it seemed like a happy ending. Two halves, reunited at last. But unity is not something you can sign on paper. It must be lived. And that's where things began to fall apart. After independence, the new government began centralizing power. The English-speaking regions, known as Anglophones, felt ignored. The schools, the courts, even their laws began to fade under French influence. In 1972, President Ahidjo removed the federal system completely. Cameroon became one unitary state. For the Anglophones, it felt like betrayal, like their voice had been erased. A teacher from Bamenda once said, "They told us we were brothers, but brothers listened to each other. They didn't listen." Years passed. Ahidjo was replaced by Paul Biya in 1982. Biya promised democracy, but the old issues stayed. While the world saw Cameroon as peaceful, anger was quietly growing in the West. People wanted fairness in education, jobs, and language. But when they protested, they were often silenced. Some called for separation. Others just wanted equality. By the 2010s, the silence broke. Protests erupted. What started as peaceful demonstrations turned into conflict. Families fled. Lives were lost. And once again, Cameroon found itself at war with itself. Yet through it all, Cameroonians continue to rise. They shine in football, art, and culture. Names like Samuel Eto'o, Francis Ngannou, and Charlotte Dipanda remind the world that Cameroon is strong, creative, and proud. Across the country, young people are speaking up, not with anger, but with vision. They dream of a new Cameroon where French and English are not barriers, but bridges. Cameroon's story is a mirror of Africa's story: beauty, struggle, and hope. A land once divided by strangers, now learning to heal itself. Because in the end, unity is not about speaking the same language. It's about sharing the same dream. If this story moved you, like this video, subscribe for more untold African histories, and share it. Because history is not just what happened, it's what we choose never to forget.